Alright, everybody, we are back with our next episode of the Super Mod and our NWA Southwest Championship Wrestling. We are here for episode number 2 of SWCW television. We are in Arizona at the TCC Music Hall. So we'll take a quick look here at last week's show, and then we will jump right into it. So, with our pre-show, we had Buddy Landell defeat Brian Addis in an 81. Kevin Sullivan and Ray Traylor defeated the Steiner brothers. We had ourselves J.R. Ewing open up the show and welcome everyone to the first episode. Then we had Great Muta defeat Al Perez and Len Denton for the SWCW World Television title. We had Bobby Heenan introduce everybody to his family. Meng defeated Brad Armstrong. Magnum TA says, hey, you know what? I'm back and I'm ready to kill it. We had Eddie Gilbert defeat Scott Hall, the dynamic duo of Chris Adams and Gino Hernandez. Come out and talk about taking over the SWCW Tag Team Division. Then we had the dynamic duo defeat Los Guerreros. Kurt Hennig talk about hypes up winning the national championship, which we will have the national championship match next week. Kurt Hennig defeated Ron Garvin. We had Sherry hyping up her new client, who is going to debut next week. And we had the Sheepherders defeat the Midnight Rockers. We had Cornette and the Midnight run down the tag team division. Then we had the Midnight Express defeat the Fantastics. Bad News Brown came out and cut a promo for everybody. And then in the main event, we had Rick Martel and B. Brian Blair defeat Rick Rude and Nikita Koloff. So I will be right back. I am going to book our show, and then we'll hop right into everything. Alright, everybody, so we are back. We have our whole show booked. Let's hop right into it, and let's get this started with our first pre-show match. So, in a pre-show bout that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Ray Traylor defeated Terry Taylor in 9 minutes and 52 seconds by pinfall with the Bubba Slam. The crowd heat at the end is expected and simmering. The wrestling rating is a 67. The crowd rating is a 48. The segment is a 69. Terry Taylor had a 69. Ray Traylor had a 65. Terry Taylor debuted his old school face gimmick and it got an initial rating of very good. Ray Traylor and Jim Cornette have pretty good chemistry, and Ray Traylor benefited from having a hot new move. So let's check out this. Gives a large boost to charisma during matches and angles. Well, that's good. That's really good. Okay, let's head to our next pre-show match. In a good pre-show match, the Fantastics defeated the Steiner brothers in 10:02 when Tommy Rogers pinned Scott Steiner with the rocket launchers. Steiner was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody else. Tommy Rogers had an 83. Bobby Fulton had an 87. Scott Steiner had a 52. Rick Steiner had a 66. Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers got a tag team specialist bonus. Rick and Scott showed excellent chemistry, and they got a tag team bonus. The wrestling rating was a 72. The crowd rating is a 59. The segment got us a 78. So that is not too bad. That is a good way to kick off the pre-show. Let's just check out the dirt sheet and see if they got anything bad. Penalized for being fatigued, poor momentum. Fatigued, inexperience, awful gimmick. Commentary was penalized for low experience. Well, that sucks. Well, the commentary will get better. It'll just take some time. So, let's head to our opening contest of the evening. In a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Brian Addis defeated Eddie Gilbert in 9:05 by pinfall with his Russian leg sweep. The crowd is hot and rising. The wrestling rating was a 65. The crowd rating is a 63. The segment is a 64. Brian Addis had a 67. Eddie Gilbert had a 62. The only negative is Jim Cornette could have been a better road agent. Didn't put the match together well. The match got the show off to a strong start, and it got the crowd hotter. So let's head to our first segment. Brother, the time has come. The Superfly has landed in SWCW, and I'm feeling more ready than ever, brother. You see, all around the world, people know who Jimmy Snuka is, but here in SWCW, they're but to find out what happens when the Superfly comes flying. I didn't come here just to make people cheer, brother. I came here to be a champion. I came here to climb to the top of the mountain and show everyone that Jimmy Snuka is still flying higher than anyone else in the sport today. So whether it's Rick Rude, Kurt Hennig, Bam Bam Bigelow, I don't care who's standing in front of me. I'm gonna keep moving, brother. Keep climbing, keep flying until I'm holding gold around my waist. SWCW, get ready because the Superfly is here, and I'm not stopping till I'm a champion, brother. Believe that. So the crowd is white hot. The segment got us to 70. His wild man gimmick got a great. It advanced his storyline. He struggled when going off script. I really should have changed it. I was going to right at the last minute. I decided not to. The angle got the crowd hotter. Let's check out his gimmick. It doesn't really have any positives or negatives. So let's go to our next match. In a decent match, the Midnight Rockers defeated David Schultz and Matt Bourne in 6:31 when Shawn Michaels pinned Matt Bourne with a rocker shocker. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got a 63. The crowd got a 48. The segment got us a 66. Shawn and Marty both had a 59. Matt Bourne had a 71. David Schultz had a 62. David Schultz debuted his redneck gimmick and it got a very good. It advanced the Midnight Rockers Midnight Express storyline. Shawn and Marty showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Shawn and Marty got a tag team bonus. Jim Cornette struggled to put the match together again. Bobby Heenan did some good work at ringside at least, so let's check. His gimmick doesn't have anything, so it's not that bad. So let's head to the next segment here. Ladies and gentlemen, shut up and listen, because what I'm about to say is going to change the course of SWCW forever. You see, every promoter, every manager, every so-called expert in this business has been looking for the next big thing. But me, I've already found him. Standing in the back right now is a man who is just not bigger, not just badder, but flat out more dangerous than anybody else walking through that curtain. A man who is feared in Japan, respected in the streets, and now unleashed right here in SWCW. He's 400 pounds of speed, power, and brutality. A man who breathes fire and breaks bones. A man who doesn't care about titles, he cares about destruction. Let me introduce you to the man who's going to wreck the entire company from top to bottom. My personal client, Bam Bam Bigelow. Look at him. Look at him. Rick Rude, Magnum TA, Warrior. You're all living on borrowed time now because Bam Bam Bigelow isn't coming to compete. He's coming to dominate. So the crowd heat at the end is very hot. The segment got a 61. Paul Heyman debuted his City Slicker gimmick and it got adequate. Bam Bam debuted his Monster gimmick, it got adequate. Paul Heyman improvised well throughout the segment, and Jim Cornette could have done better as a road agent. Bam Bam's got a lot of negatives. Losses hurt momentum more than usual, can be penalized for losing to comedy gimmicks, may receive a bonus when booked to look dominant, can be penalized for lengthy angles, will be penalized for taking part in comedy bouts, comic relief during angles. Well, he's not going to have anything with comedy, so it doesn't matter. So, let's head to Bam Bam's match. In an extremely short match, Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Sting in 3 minutes and 16 seconds with his diving headbutt. Bam Bam got a 62, Sting got a 53. Sting debuted his old school face gimmick and it got a 4. Bam Bam and Sting don't click. They make for an awkward pairing. And of course, Bam Bam and Paul Heyman are an awkward pairing and they have no chemistry. So the crowd heat is very hot at the end. The crowd rating is a 58. The wrestling rating is a 58. The crowd rating is a 57. We got a 59. Sting's old school face gives a small penalty microphone during angles. So let's head to the next segment. Well, well, well. Would you look at this? Adrian Adonis has arrived in SWCW, and sweetheart, things just got a whole lot prettier and a whole lot meaner. Now, next week I step into the ring against Austin Idol, the universal heartthrob. Please, Idol, you think you're some kind of star? You think you're something special? Let me remind you of something, Cupcake. You're stepping into the ring with a man who's beaten legends, a man who's made headlines, and a man who's not afraid to break a few rules or a few bones. Austin Idol, I don't care about your muscles, your hairspray, or your fan club. Next week, when that bell rings, you're going to find out that Adrian Adonis is more than just a name. I'm an impact. And after I put you down in the middle of that ring, Austin, I'm not stopping there. Everybody in SWCW, you're on notice because the adorable one is here to take what's mine. And that means gold, fame, and respect. Next week, Austin Idol, get ready to kiss your ego goodbye. Adrian Adonis is coming for you, and I don't miss. So, pretty much just everything is the same as Bam Bam's. So, let's head to our next match here. And about that had great heat and good wrestling. Austin Idol defeated Kevin Sullivan in 10-11 by pinfall. And the crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 68. The crowd rating is a 66. The segment got us a 68. Austin Idol had a 78. Kevin Sullivan had a 58. Austin Idol's old school face gimmick got an adequate. So let's check his gimmick. And not really anything. I mean, it is what it is there. The dirt sheets, let's just take a quick look. And no storyline associated with it. That doesn't surprise me. Okay, so let's head to our next segment. Let me tell you people something real simple. So even all you empty-headed hillbilly fans can understand. The Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, might be used to dancing around in little nightclubs, flipping their hair, and pretending there's something special. But this is Southwest Championship Wrestling, and boys, in this ring, you're about to get your bubble popped. This ain't the minor leagues anymore, rockers. This is where the real men fight, where real teams win, and where pretty boys like you get sent back to wherever you came from, crying to mama with your eyeliners running. We don't care about how fast you are. We don't care how many flips you can do. When you step into the ring with us, it's not about style. It's about survival. And trust me, rockers, you ain't built to survive against the Midnight Express. That's exactly right. The fact is, Michaels and Jannetty might be fan favorites. They might get teenage girls screaming, but that ain't gonna help them when Dennis and Randy start tearing them apart like a couple of buzzsaws. This team right here, we're the best tag team in the world, and boys, you're about to find out that in Southwest Championship Wrestling, the party is over. So rockers, shine up those jackets and enjoy every night thinking you belong in this company. Because when the bell rings, The Midnight Express is going to send you crashing right back to reality. We're not just going to beat you, we're going to humiliate you. And when it's over, just remember who ended the Rockers' dreams: Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express. So the crowd heat is very hot. We got a 77 out of that segment. It advanced the Midnight Rockers Midnight Express storyline. The dirt sheet, just the announcers. That's not bad. Yeah, okay, so let's head to our next segment. In an exceptional match, the fabulous Freebirds defeated the Sheepherders in 9:43 when Michael P.S. Hayes pinned Butch Miller. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got an 80. The crowd rating got a 70. The segment got us an 81. Terry Gordy had a 79. Michael P.S. Hayes had an 82. Luke Williams had a 77. Butch Miller had an 82. Michael Hayes debuted as Egomaniac, and it got a very good. Terry Gordy debuted as Badass, and it got a great. It advanced the Dynamic Duo versus the Freebirds storyline. Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Butch and Luke showed excellent chemistry teaming together. And Luke Williams is getting better at his gimmick. So let's check out Michael and Terry's. Nothing for him. All the comedy stuff, and will receive a bonus when looking dominant. Okay, so let's head off to our next segment. Rick Martel, the model, huh? You walk around Southwest Championship Wrestling like you're something special. Like you're God's gift to wrestling. But let me tell you something, pretty boy. You're standing in the wrong ring, because there's only one man in this company who's destined to wear the Southwest Championship Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. And sweetheart, you're looking at him. While you're busy showing off your little fashion scene and working on your tan, I'm busy beating people up, breaking bodies, and proving week after week that nobody in Southwest Championship Wrestling, nobody in this sport can touch ravishing Rick Rude. Martel, you don't stand a chance. Not tonight, not next week, not ever. You might be a model, but I'm the blueprint for what a real champion looks like. So let the fans dream. Let the promoters hope. But understand this, Martel. When the dust settles and the world title gets handed out, it's not going around your waist. It's going to look real nice sitting on these perfect hips. Rick Martel, you'll always be second place. And ravishing Rick Rude, I was born to be number one. So the crowd rating, or the crowd heat at the end is very hot. The segment got us an 83. I'd advanced the Rick Rude, Rick Martel storyline, and Rick Rude came across well. And then there was Bobby Heenan. Let's check out the dirt sheet. The announcing, low experience, low heat. Oh, that's really weird because he. Okay, so let's head to the next match. And a bout that had decent wrestling and didn't have much heat. Brad Armstrong defeated Denny Brown in 7:16 by pinfall with the Russian leg sweep. Brad Armstrong wins the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title. So the crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 52. The crowd rating is a 33. And the segment got a 61. Brad had a 58 and Denny had a 45. So I borrowed the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title. I just gave it to Brad. I want Brad to get over a little bit. I'm hoping he'll be able to keep the title for a little bit and I can work him up. And we'll see what happens. But let's head to our next segment. Oh, I forgot to put it in there. Ah, shoot. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's just, Just a promo talking about how Nikita is going to break Brian Blair for causing him to lose in last week's tag team main event. So the crowd heat is very hot. The segment got a 67. It advanced the Nikita Koloff Brian Blair storyline. Nikita looked good. Yeah, so shoot. That wasn't too bad of a promo. So let's head off to our next match. In an extremely short match, the Iron Sheik defeated Ron Garvin in 5:16 by submission with his camel clutch. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 69. The crowd rating is a 58. It got a 62. Sheik had a 63. Ron Garvin had a 74. The Iron Sheik debuted his Middle Eastern Fanatic gimmick, and it got a great Jimmy Snuka versus Iron Sheik storyline. It's good. Sheik was off his game, and Jim Cornette could have did better at putting the match together. His gimmick doesn't give him any positives or negatives, so that's not too bad. So let's head to the next promo. SCWC, listen to me, you no good jabronis. I am the Iron Sheik, the real legend, the real world-class wrestler, and now I am here to humble everybody in Southwest Championship Wrestling. I don't care who you are. Rick Rude, Magnum TA, Kurt Hennig, all of you, line up. I break your back. I make you humble. Then I take your title. I take your pride. I send you home like the little boys you are. And Jimmy Snuka, you island jabroni. You think you can fly around the ring and impress Iron Sheik? Ha! You are nothing. You are weak. You have no discipline. And next time I see you, I grab you. I put you in the camel clutch. And I break your back. Then I make you humble. Just like I did to that Hulk Hogan years ago. Southwest Championship Wrestling. Listen to Iron Sheik. I will humble all of you. I am real wrestler. I am the real champion. And soon I take the gold and I show the worldwide Iran #1. Southwest Championship Wrestling #1. Iron Sheik, the legend. Ah! So the crowd heat is very hot. The segment got us a 79. It advanced our Jimmy Snuka Iron Sheik storyline. Oh yeah, man, that announcing just, it's gonna get us. So let's head to our main event. Not bad. In an exceptional match, Rick Rude, Nikita Koloff, Bing, and Adrian Adonis defeated Rick Martel, Bobby Duncombe, Brian Blair, and Jimmy Snuka in 13:42 when Rick Rude pinned Bobby Duncombe with a rude awakening. The crowd heat is very hot. The segment got us at 81. The crowd rating got a 72. The segment got a 77. Adrian Adonis had an 85. Meng had a 79. Nikita had a 69. Rick Rude had an 87. Jimmy Snuka had an 83. Brian Blair had a 74. Bobby Duncombe had an 83. And Rick Martel had a 86. Bobby Duncombe debuted as a cowboy gimmick. It got poor. Had advanced all of our storylines we got going. Rick Rude seemed off his game. The commentary deserved better commentary. Rick Rude and Bobby Heenan have great chemistry. Ivan did some good work at ringside. Nikita Koloff and Ivan Koloff have great chemistry. Meng and Colonel Robert Parker are a good pairing and play off each other well. The match got the crowd buzzing. And Brian Blair is getting better at his gimmick. So his losses hurt momentum, gives a large penalty to psychology, and can be penalized for being used in lengthy matches. Okay. So let's finish off our show and see what we got here. We got a 79 this week. It increased our popularity in 16 regions. We would have gained one, but in the U.S., but we were restricted to the limited number of viewers, and we would have gained popularity in 7 Canadian regions. but we were limited to the number of viewers there too, so we didn't gain anything in Canada. The show benefited from having a wide selection of angles, so let's finish the show. The financial report, we made 117 grand, that's not bad. Um, so let's check out the popularity. We're up to 61 in just about everything, so that's not bad. The Europe is at 12, Canada's at 40. I guess we'll work on getting everything else up. That's not too bad. Alright, so that is the end of this episode. I will see everybody in the next one.